Alright everybody, welcome back to episode 4 of La Zap here on YouTube. You're listening to the voices of Richard Pagnata and Nick Giamonti. And I know I said Richard, I know you don't really like being called that, but his name's Richie. And as you can see, he is finally sitting right next to me now.
Yeah, finally, things are starting to open up, so we thought it was, safe that we could be less than 6 feet away from each other. And now we have a nice, beautiful background together, and, this is what we always intended. So, hopefully, we don't get that second wave, or New York doesn't start closing down again. We'll keep coming at you right next to each other.
Regardless of what happens, we're still going to be having weekly podcasts. 100%. So, no matter what, if he's next to me, if he's in Africa, Australia, on Mars, we will still have a weekly podcast no matter what. So, I think we can, both agree that this is a lot better than doing 100%. Zoom. I mean, Zoom was convenient, but, it just wasn't the same as you sitting right next to me. Because now I can actually look and talk to you instead of seeing if you're going to freeze or not.
Yeah, you got to wait. You got to pause a couple seconds, really get the flow of a conversation through computer. It's really difficult, as everybody knows who's using Zoom. And also, last week we did have some technical difficulties where you lagged out or I lagged out.
Yeah, last week it was starting to lag out a little bit.
So, none of that going forward.
Nope.
We're happy to be here, and we are happy to talk baseball with you.
Yeah, so, and actually breaking news, yesterday, the news hit that there is probably going to be a Major League season this year.
Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be a 60-game season. The owners went back to the players and said, listen, here's the last offer that we're going to give you. It's 60 games, full prorated pay, 10 team playoff season, 10 teams in the playoffs.
So is it extended, or is it just adding extra teams?
No, so it's only 10 teams. So it was 10 teams last year.
So it's always the same then?
Yeah, it's from from the newer format that they implemented within the last 5 years.
Okay, so whatever the normal has been the past couple years, okay, gotcha.
They also were having the NLDH this year, but not in 2021. So that will be up for debate in the next CBA, I believe.
They've been talking about that for a long time. Trying to do universal DH, which it's like, I like the idea of it, but it just takes away from the National League. Because you think about it, there are some pitchers in the National League who can hit dingers.
Yeah, it's
been seen.
But now I think it makes it for a more competitive.
Yeah, because if you have the American League come over, you're gonna have.
American League, if you
Tanaka trying to bat, it doesn't work.
I mean, if you bring an NL team over to the AL, and the AL will win more often than not because they have that designated hitter who does it 160 games a season, and now the NL they're gonna get to go through that for these 60 games. The only thing that does suck about it is these teams didn't draft, they didn't pick up a free agent who is a true designated hitter. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams do. I mean, you see what they do in the 6th, 7th inning. They bring in a pinch hitter, but they got to keep bringing another 2 or 3 out. So it will be interesting to see how the NL does go through with that this year. But nothing's official yet. We have about another 25 minutes until we see what happens. We will probably be doing this then, so we will come right at you with whatever we hear. But it sounds that it's gonna happen. Everything I've been seeing on Twitter, what I've been reading about the past couple days, has been saying that it sounds very optimistic that the league will, the players will accept the league's offer, and we will have a 60-game season.
Yep.
So, better than nothing. But the playoffs are gonna be really weird. The part that the players wanted with the 16 games was, they were saying, it's only 60 games. Look at last year. You keep bringing it up. The Nationals were 19-31 and at 60 games, and they won the World Series. So now we're not going to get a full season. We're not going to know who the real good teams are. Now with only 10 spots, it's like if you cut off a super hot start, which a lot of teams, they get a super hot start and then they cool down, and then the other teams, they get hot. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird season.
Yeah.
It will make every game count more. I've been saying, the more these games count, the more people will watch, and the more fan interaction you're going to have just from Twitter and TV right now. More views, more ratings. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like I was saying to you, I know I've mentioned it to you before, and I've probably mentioned on the show, is I don't really want to see a playoff.
Yeah.
I want to see something different, only because 60 games, there's 162 games in a regular season. you're missing out on 102 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not playing a regular season. Like you said, there are teams that can start off cold and there's teams that can start off hot. And then if you're on a hot streak, if you start slowing down at the end of the year, you're still having a great record. You're still over 560 games. So I don't want to see playoffs because, to me, no matter who wins the World Series this year, it's, in my mind, it's not a true World Series. And I get it. Like, there might be say the Padres do good. They haven't won a World Series in a long time. But does it really count, though? I mean, like, as a player on that team, you're like, yeah, you know, it's cool we won World Series, you know, we're very excited, we're happy. But when you step back, you didn't play your fullest the full year. You only played a certain amount of games, and you went out and you beat a decently, say, good team in the playoffs, like maybe all like the known good teams like the Yankees, the Astros, the Twins. Maybe if the Red Sox are somehow good this year, you know, or the Chicago White Sox because they picked up some decent players. All those good teams are getting knocked down in the first round to usually teams that are under 500, at 300, or 400, where they're coming in 4th or 5th place. This year, now they're in 2nd or 1st because they're doing better because they're only playing 60 games, and now they win a championship. And, you know, that's good for them. That's good for whoever wins the World Series, you know? But the whole thing in my mind is, does it count?
I mean, it will count. They will get the trophy. They will get the parade. They're going to get all that. It's
technically it counts.
Yeah, it's what a fan's going to really feel, how a player's going to feel. I honestly think nobody's going to look at it and say, yeah, that's a true World Series winner right there. That's, you know.
I don't want to see the Yankees win a 28th World Series off a 60-game season.
Yeah, no.
I was telling you, I want to. If they're in the World Series, I'm rooting against it. Nah, I'm not going to root against it. But I'm just going to sit there and be like, this isn't. I don't know. I'm thinking
it's going to be a fun distraction for what's been going on.
Absolutely, it's better than nothing. I'm not complaining that, you know, what we're getting is what we're getting, and I'm not complaining. It's better than not having to wait till next year for baseball. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, when October comes, it's not going to be the same October baseball. Yeah. The magic is just. It's not going to feel right.
Yeah, and listen, MLB was put in a really bad spot. You know, this isn't the NBA where they had, 7 or 8 games left for a season, and they were able to come and say, okay, well, actually, no, they probably had definitely more than 8 games, whatever it was. They're only doing 8 games now to make up for those last however many games. MLB can't do that. They're down 102 games now, and, you know, I've been saying it from the get-go. The owners are being incredibly greedy. They're really messing this up for everything. And
baseball dropped. MLB they dropped the ball this year.
Yeah, I mean, you go on Twitter and you just look at comments and you look at what reporters are saying and fans in general, and people are pissed. Like, they just want baseball. They want sports, and they would have nothing to compete with for. It could have been 2 months. No, it would have been about a month.
I feel like
a month or two, whatever it is. They could have competed with no basketball. No football, no hockey. They could have jumped in, given a billion people whatever they wanted to watch, and they just said, no, we're going to be greedy. And it's like I keep saying, the owners found out what their bottom line was. They said, okay, 48 games. I'm just going to make up numbers to make it easy. If we do 48 games, we're only going to lose $100 million collectively. So let's just keep undercutting what the players are asking for. Okay, you want to do 114 games? No, we'll do 80 games, but it's at 60% of your salary. That way, the owners still only lose $100 million. They never negotiated in good faith, and the fact that we're even getting a possible 60-game season is because the owners know they're screwed. They know that the players know that they negotiate in bad faith. They know that there will be a grievance brought to them, and they saw that, the only way to kind of get past the grievance when we go to court or whatever, we'll give them 12 more games. So it's no. 48 wasn't our bottom line. 60 was. 60 was. No, you guys were wrong. No, the cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows. And, you know, it's going to make things weird going forward. Like, you know, the CBA's up next fall to be negotiated on, and owners are pissed. Players are pissed. It's not going to be an easy... Like, baseball's typically pretty good when it comes to CBA. They'll bang that thing out. They'll get it done a couple months beforehand, like, essentially, and then they'll go in, negotiate the last couple things, and within a couple months, bada bing, bada boom, it's done. Not like NBA or NFL where there's the potential lockout and all that. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see players go on strike if they don't get what they're looking for in the next CBA. And the other thing with the owners trying to undercut with the 60% of pay is they kept trying to like do that so they could implement a salary cap. And I know how the salary cap works in football, where it's you take like the expected revenue plus the revenue, and you take ticket sales, TV deals, all that. You add it all up, and then you divide it all, and you're like, okay, you divide it by however many teams there are, so get the 30 teams, and you're like, okay, like this year I think it's $200 or $210 million per team. You can't do that with baseball. Baseball is so far gone past these. The contracts are exorbitant. Like Garrett Cole, what's it? 9 years, $324 million.
Yep. Well, even Trout's
$400 million.
Even Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, Alex Rodriguez in the past, Giancarlo Stanton. It's insane what they offer these players.
Yeah. And now, if you try to say the salary cap, MLB doesn't get TV deals like the NFL does. The MLB salary cap would probably be like 150 to 175 mil. You can't build a team around that. Like, okay, you're going to make the argument, okay, yeah, it's half as many people as there are in football, so you can offer a little bit more money and guarantees here and there. You can do that, but, when you have somebody like Trout who's making $40 million, or Garrett Cole's making $35 to $40 million, it's hard. It's really, really hard. So there will be no salary cap. Let me just make that clear.
They're never going to do a salary cap in baseball.
No, but it's just that's what the owners were trying to push for, and they got greedy. They look bad. They gave the sport a black eye, and even though we do have it coming back, and I'm still waiting. We still got 20 minutes to see what's going to happen. Sounds like it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they do it before our recording time ends, because we have about 21 minutes left of recording time.
Yeah, I got my trusty phone ready to give me all the answers we need.
So hopefully we can get to that this episode. But yeah, I don't know. It's better than nothing. I wanted to see baseball for so long. This stuff could have been figured out over a month ago.
Yep.
This didn't have to get down to literally the finish line. Like it did. Like when the season starts? The season starts July 24th.
Yeah, They plan to start spring training in a week.
Yeah,
the
season starts July 24th. Which if you grew up playing baseball, that's kind of like when you start practicing for fall ball.
Yeah, this is the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's
All-Star break. It's
which sucks because the All-Star break was supposed to be at Dodger Stadium.
All-Star break and trade deadline are two of my favorite. Two of my favorite. I know, of the year.
And I'm hoping next year they can just say like the Dodgers can host it, because
they probably already have it in place with who it is next year.
They should move it back, because that's not right. It would have been awesome at Dodger Stadium to have
like that.
I don't know, unfortunate things, and I don't know how that works for the All-Star break with the trades, but
there's probably going to be no trades this year. I don't know. But the other reason that this got done when it got done was because of all the cases of corona down in Texas and Florida and Arizona that are going through the roof. I saw a report last week that I think Florida's got over 80,000 confirmed cases, and they've now bypassed New York as the epicenter of all this.
Well, they also, we're not going to get into all that political stuff, but they also just kind of opened everything and said, there you go.
No, they were very wrong and stupid how they handled it.
Whereas New York is doing very well.
Yeah, New York's they're finally getting numbers down. I mean,
phase 3 opens tomorrow. Or this week.
Yeah, what is that? We can finally go in restaurants now? I think so.
I don't remember what phase 3 was, but if phase 3 goes well, then I think phase 4 is in a couple weeks. I don't know how many phases there are.
Just let me know when the gym opens, man. I need to go back and lift some weights. But because of all this, MLB, they finally said, oh, now we feel the pressure. We thought we could kind of wait this out because we expected the second wave in the fall. America's huge. It only hit certain places really bad, really quick. The fact that New York was hit as hard as it was expected, but Florida, who took no precautions, Texas, who took little precautions, and Arizona, who took whatever the hell they took, those are three of the biggest states with the biggest population, and they weren't hit as bad as New York. And now you hear reports I saw something like the summer sun is supposed to kill corona. Meanwhile, the 3 hottest places in America are spiking. Whatever.
Side note, we also talk about coronavirus.
What else are we going to talk about? There's nothing left to talk about. But yeah, so that's why MLB really felt like, okay, fine, this is our last deal. 60 games, we'll give you a DH. We're not giving you the $25 million back with what was it? It was $25 million in forgiveness pay, and no, sorry, $33 million back for forgiveness pay, $25 million guaranteed if you're in the playoffs. So what that essentially means is that $25 million would be spread across and added to those player salaries. Now, if those 10 teams they go to the playoffs, they're still getting paid whatever their regular contract was. Like, all the playoff bonuses, incentives, and contracts are cut right now, which just gives you no incentive to play into the playoffs, besides a trophy that people don't really think will count.
Now, all this still isn't, like, the season isn't still 100% confirmed today. I think they said they have to vote today.
Yeah, so today's vote is going to be done in 13 minutes.
But this is also Rob. This isn't the MLB proposal anymore. This is like Rob Manfred saying like it's 60 games.
No, this is a mix. It's a mix.
It's a mix.
So the last week, Rob Manfred and Tony Clark met because it was about time that the commissioner stepped in and did something, and he finally met face to face with Tony Clark. They had a discussion. They had a negotiation, and Manfred came out saying, "Oh, things went great. We're gonna have a season again. 60 games. Everything sounds great." And then reporters are tweeting, "Oh, this sounds great. We're gonna have baseball right away." Blah blah blah. And Nick texted me when that happened. I'm like, "Dude, like, just wait. And right away, MLB PA came out with a statement saying there's been no agreement reached. We don't know what these reports are. There was simply a negotiation. We still have to bring this back to our side, and we still want to present our side. So players came back and they said, okay, we want 70 games. We want universal DH this year and next year. We want 16-team playoffs this year and next year. We want that $25 million for the playoffs. We want that $33 million of roster forgiveness salary, and a few other things I can't remember off the top of my head. And owners said it was DOA. They didn't even want to look at it. They said it was a stupid proposal back, and they were pissed. And they finally, this is the last one. They said, listen, well, back up. That 10-game difference, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it's $250 million for the owners. I'm not sure if that's collectively or individually. I would assume it's collectively, but they're, like I said, owners who make billions and billions of dollars are cheap, and they don't want to pay that extra $250 million. I mean, it's $250 million. It's no pocket change, but still, they have the money. Between 30 owners, they have $250 million. They could have just done it. But yeah, the owners came back and said, listen, this is the last offer we're giving you. 60 games. We'll give you the DH this year. No playoff bonus. No forgiveness salary. And yeah. So they're voting today if the players will agree to arrive at training camp in 7 days in the safety and health protocol guideline manual to use going forward. In 3 days, players have from now, after the vote, 72 hours to decide whether or not they will play due to Corona or not. And so was that the 30th? Probably the 31st. We will probably, hopefully have. Oh no, that would be the first. Hopefully we will have something going on. And honestly, I'm watching the shit out of every spring training game that I can if that's on.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend already. I said, look, the season comes back July 24th. I'm watching it on July 24th. Yeah. I said, nobody's bothering me.
Yep.
The first night baseball is back, I'm watching it. But now,
give me a 6-pack and a pizza, and I'm going to be happy.
Exactly. Some buffalo wings. Oh, some buffalo dip.
Ooh,
some
that's
yeah.
good. That's good.
We like food over here at Lazap. But how are the schedules working now? Are they gonna revamp the schedules, or do you think they're gonna just take it from the original schedule from July 24th and just play up from there?
I don't know.
Because I feel like that would be an easier thing to do, is just continue from there of what the season was going to be.
I think that's what makes the most sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and make it very, very division heavy. So, AL East only plays AL East. And, if you do something like that, I would like to see the regular season schedule played out, because the Yankees finished the season, I think, at home versus Houston, right? What's that thing say? You got it right next to you.
Oh, yeah. I have the 2020 season. Sidetrack. I looked at that last night. I got sad. I'm like, great. Everyone's getting messed up. They finish at Tampa.
Tampa. They play Houston that last week. Hold on.
They were supposed to play Houston September 21st through the 24th.
Yeah. Where? Here or there?
There.
Oh, that's annoying.
Now, if they start...
They had two series against them this year. That's such bullshit.
Yeah, MLB did that on purpose.
Of course they did.
If they start July 24th, they have a 3-game series against Boston, and then they play the Mets, and then they play Boston again.
I'm very happy with that as the opening week of baseball as a Yankee fan.
It's a weird schedule.
It's going to be very strange because there's only 60 games. What are they going to do?
I was really hoping they would have changed up the divisions this year because I really wanted to see the Yankees play the Mets more.
Yeah, that was a cool thing that was spoken about early.
No, Houston's home. My apologies. They color alternated the months, and I thought that was... Yeah, I'm just dumb.
So
anyway,
who's home, the Yankees or the Astros?
So if they start on the 24th, they're home against Boston, then they go to the Mets. If they still play Houston at the end of September, they're going to be home, and I hope they're home because... Oh, never mind. I was going to say you can guarantee the Yankee fans there are going to be crazy, but stadiums are closed.
I'll go outside with a trash can. I don't care.
Just get a whole crowd to stand outside and just...
Do you remember the show Doug?
Yeah, of course I remember Doug.
I just might go out there and I just might blast that song on the beats. Banging on a trash can.
Yo, do you remember how Doug was on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, and then it was on Disney.
Yeah, I did not know that. And the other day I was searching on Disney Plus, and I saw Doug. I'm like, isn't Doug from Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Doug was on Nickelodeon, but then when they went to like high school or whatever, they put it on Disney.
How does that even work?
Dude, I don't know.
If anybody out there knows how that works, I want you to comment down below. And that's going to be the title name is Does Doug Deserve to Be on Disney? But yeah, I really hope that we can still see, a Yankee Houston series.
I think it's too late in the game at this point for them to just say, okay, we have... I mean, if they give themselves a month from today, they could come out with a new schedule. So I wouldn't put it past them.
Also, too, you know what I want to find out is who makes the schedules.
You mean the schedule makers?
Yeah, I know obviously there's a schedule maker, but how do they determine like how interleague play is gonna work? You know, like that's interesting. Like,
yeah,
is it like maybe do they call one ownership and the other and say, hey, do you guys want to play each other against a series this year?
I don't think that's what.
Do you think MLB is just kind of like, oh, let's just jumble it up and let the Yankees play the Reds? Or, I don't know.
I think.
That's something I want to look into.
As close to basketball as they could, where basketball plays every team at least once. I mean, the season's long enough; you could make it happen, but
I want to see more. I know over the years we get a little bit more interleague play, but I really want to see like a lot more interleague play going into the season.
I think now with the DH,
into like the future.
I think if they implement the DH, I guess it would be 2022 now. I think we could see that as a real possibility.
Because you remember how last year it was on Players Weekend, but you remember when the Yankees played the Dodgers? How awesome that series! Yeah. That series is amazing. And at the time last year, everyone was saying,
World Series.
These are going to be the World Series teams. Like not even Houston. The Yankees are better than Houston at this point.
Yeah.
But these are going to be the World Series teams. And if that happens, this series is really going to determine how that's going to play out. And the Yankees ended up taking that series strong against the Dodgers.
Right, they did.
And what I wanted, and a lot of people wanted, and MLB said no, was it was Players Weekend. They had on the white and the black jerseys, and a lot of people were saying, can we just have one game where we're in our normal uniforms? Like even the players were saying it, the managers were saying it. They wanted one game where the Yankees played in their classic gray and the Dodgers played in the classic blue. Yeah. And MLB said no. And yes. I don't understand why just one game you couldn't let it go, but
because you do it to one team,
you got to do it to the other teams. But
and MLB puts a lot of money
into those uniforms.
Not only those uniforms, that whole weekend. I mean, yeah, it came out 3 years ago, and
I like Player Weekend though.
I do too. I think it's great. I went to a Met game like randomly with my buddy and didn't even realize that it was Players Weekend, and I'm like, who the hell is this in left field? I'm like, that's no one's name. I'm like, oh shit, it's Players Weekend. Like this is actually really cool. And then after the first inning, we went and hung out in the cool part of Citi Field and didn't go back to
Citi Field is a cool ballpark.
I love it.
I have to say, the Mets did it right when they came out with a new ballpark.
I mean, you got to make it fun when your team isn't really, that watchable on the field.
Yeah. No, they just have an overall great ballpark. And I think honestly, I have to say I like Citi Field better than Yankee Stadium, only because Yankee Stadium, they just went with such a classic feel. There's nothing really, like, you go there, there's nothing really exciting to walk around to.
Here's the difference. So, for Yankee Stadium, there's nothing to do except get food and drink, so you're going to be in your seats the entire time.
Yeah, because they want to watch it.
When you're on camera, when the camera shows the stadium, it's going to show you the 40,000 packed out stadium. But when you go to Citi Field, they have a whole back area, bars and 50 different food
things
stands.
For kids.
Yeah, they got wiffle ball, they have a dunk tank, they have tables, they have all this fun stuff.
They have a dunk tank. Yeah, that is fun.
And I tried doing it and I missed. But they have all these fun things to do, but the downside is stadium never looks packed out. Regardless of how good or bad the team is, because they have a giant jumbo screen from Old Shea Stadium in the back.
They still have the same screen?
Or
they probably updated, yeah.
It looks old. It doesn't look new. So I'm assuming Shea Stadium. But whatever it is, they have this big giant jumbotron, and you can just watch the game from there. It's like, oh, why sit in these seats that aren't comfortable with people next to people I don't want to be around and be cramped or whatever. Oh, I can go this walk in open space, and I can. Oh, they got a barbecue bar. They got a Jim Beam bar. They have Shake Shack. They have all this crazy stuff. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. The coolest thing Yankee Stadium had that I can remember is Cheetos and popcorn, like, combined. And because of me getting those, this is a cool story. I was sitting. I went to the Yankee game, and I was there early enough that someone's like, "Hey, you have a Judge jersey on. Do you want to sit in the judges' chambers?" I'm like, "Yes." And this was the first year that they opened. So my friend and I were like, "Okay, like, it's the half inning. Like, let's go get something to eat real quick." So we go get the popcorn and we go get a beer, but the lines are so long, so whatever. So Judge is up first, and we were paying no attention at this point to what the order was, and when you're in the judges' chambers, they'll put you on TV for 3 seconds or whatever it is, like, while he's up. And then if he hits a home run, you go back and you're on TV again, and, like, you're supposed to be going wild and crazy, and it's fun. So, of course, Judge hits his home run while me and my friend are getting a beer and popcorn. So
we miss all of it.
We miss all of it. And
I've been on TV a couple times at the Yankee game.
Yeah, I was. I'm on TV a lot. I was a lot on Shea Stadium, but
during the home runs, I make it extra so that am I like whoever I'm with, like, why are you going like so extra? I'm like, because I know I'm gonna be on TV.
I was with my sister, Steve, and Vin, and this is like 10 years ago, and we had like nosebleed seats or whatever, and all of a sudden, I think to share a hit like a game tying or a go ahead grand slam or something crazy. And the four of us were dancing like lunatics. They put us onto TV twice because of how stupid we looked. Some moms were sitting next to us, said that we were the funniest people. She's like, "I'm taking your video and I'm taking a video of you guys and I'm putting it on YouTube. Look up crazy Yankee fans." I'm like, "Yeah, because there's not a million videos like that already, lady."
Yeah.
But I miss baseball, man.
Yeah.
I just miss going to the stadium and spending the day there.
We were actually Richie came up with a cool idea, and I don't know if we're gonna do it or not.
Oh yeah, so
if they vote against it and the season just flat out gets canceled, he came up with an idea of doing a simulated season.
Yeah, so I have an Xbox, Nick has a PS4, so he has MLB The Show, I don't. So my whole idea would be that we would just take the season and make a season, and we would give you guys whatever highlights, if we can videotape whatever we could.
And you can also, root for your favorite team or
and we'll
vote who do you think's gonna do well. And I know Richie didn't want to bring this up because we're probably not gonna do if there's a season.
Yeah.
But if there isn't, that is a backup plan we want to do. Just get like a little fan base going on there, getting some, just some like a little fun baseball season.
Yeah, I looked at him like, it's something that we can do and keep people engaged in baseball this year.
Yeah.
So hold on, it's 5 o'clock,
news?
so I'm trying to see what's going on.
Wait, you think they signed it already? And
they said they need to vote by 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock.
Okay. But yeah, that's a backup plan. We'll keep you posted though what happens. If we do go with it, we'll mention it. But if there's a season, honestly, let's watch the real season and vote for the real teams.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought it would be something fun. Like I said, keep everybody interactive with baseball. We would take everybody's team and we would start when the podcast would start. So we would simulate all those games up until, let's say, July 1st. Then we would do a one-day sim And we'd go over, and if we could find a way to rewatch highlights from the game, we would try to record those, put them on. We'd give everybody's stats, home runs, singles, doubles, whatever it is. So if you have a little fantasy team and you want to, like, you know, play around with that with, like, old school, with just handwriting it all out, feel free. But we're probably going to turn off trades. We would turn off, like, a bunch of stuff.
Turn on live roster, too, because there are some people who are still hurt on other teams, and that wouldn't be fair to have
like
one team be a powerhouse and then someone who
like Judge and Hicks are still hurt.
Those would
don't know what the deal is with Stanton anymore. So the three of them, the whole Yankees outfield might just, you know, be on the bench until we would assume they would be back. But it's 2 minutes past the deadline. We have no idea what the hell's happening.
there was no deadline. They're just gonna get a tweet from John Hayward saying, like, yeah, they didn't vote, so there's going to be a counter proposal as usual. It's like, stop with the counter proposals. Just suck it up. One of the sides came in and just play some baseball.
Here's another thing. Extra innings would start with a runner on second base. No limits on position players pitching. Players can have wet rag in pocket as a substitute for licking fingers. That's ridiculous. And
is this for this year, or is this like a new thing?
These are proposed MLB rule changes for this year. It's DH in both leagues. Extra innings with a runner. Start with a runner on second. No limits on player pitching. Tongue twister. Pitchers can have a wet rag in their pocket as a substitute for licking fingers. And 3 batter minimum still stands.
Well, that's probably for the virus.
I understand what it's for. It's just like, I never thought I would hear that as a rule.
I don't like the runners start on second.
I mean, either. And they're trying to speed the game up when they don't have to. Like, okay, it's a long game. It's a slow game. But extra innings are my favorite. Like, I remember...
It's free baseball.
They're the best.
It's free baseball.
Bonus Cantos. I remember this summer, it was the Yankees versus the Twins. It was like a Tuesday or a Thursday night, and I just turned the game on. I'm like, I have no intention of staying awake. It's like 11:30. I got work in the morning. I'm exhausted. I was up till 1 in the morning watching this stupid game. Hicks laid out. He made that incredible diving catch. I changed my Twitter to say that it's a Gary Sanchez and Aaron Hicks Stan account, and then I put their picture as my banner. And then I made friends with like 4 or 5 different Yankee fans on Twitter because we were just like live tweeting the game, who's liking who's retweeting, who's writing about this or that, and it was a lot of fun. And you don't see that with other sports like football. Football has the dumbest overtime rules ever. I hate it. Basketball, okay, it's kind of intense, and it's intense. It's fun. But it's short. It's 5-minute quarters. Hockey, what is it? It's you have an extra quarter essentially, and then shootout. I don't really know how hockey works. I know there's a shootout, and shootouts are intense. I will say that they're intense, but
yeah, hockey's a fun sport.
But baseball extra innings, it's so much fun. Granted, they seem to usually end early, or they just go so long.
Yeah, you get to watch 2 games in one day.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm really mad that there's nothing out there yet.
Were you checking John Hayward, or are you checking...
I'm checking all Twitter at this point. I checked Heyman, nothing from him.
What's weird is sometimes Bleacher Report comes out sooner than ESPN, and sometimes it's the other way around.
I hate ESPN, man. I'm just so over them. I'm mad. I don't have MLB Network on my TV anymore. I only have NFL Network, and I prefer those network stations where they focus solely on that one sport because it's better analysis, better review. I like the overall what do they call it? The journalists and the reporters better, but that's just me.
Do you have a Fire Stick?
Yeah.
You can download MLB Network, and it's limited access, but it's cool because they have different during a normal season, they have highlights, and you can obviously set your favorite team, and they'll be all different highlights. If Judge made a sick play or Cody Bellinger make a sick play, within a couple weeks, they'll have Cody Bellinger highlight reel or Jose Altuve home run blast in the past couple weeks. It's pretty cool. I mean, you're limited if you wanted to watch the shows live. It's probably something crazy, $20-$30 a month or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's $20 a month.
It's pretty expensive.
If I got it on my back on TV. I gotta figure it out though. I mean, I might just jailbreak it and watch it.
There you go. Go out there and pirate stuff, kids.
Yeah, teaching you real good life values.
But I don't know. Hopefully they said yes to it and just
It sounded like the vast majority were just like saying fine. The players don't. Players
just want to play. Like there was a bunch of players saying.
Pat McAfee just tweeted out, Jeff Passan, baseball update, please. Everyone's waiting. Everyone's on edge. They know it's coming out.
There's
soon.
just been players that just say, have been tweeting, tell us when and where.
Yeah, they
Gary
all been
Sanchez,
doing it.
Harper.
They're all doing. The only one who's like, I love Trevor Bauer, and he's getting so much hate on Twitter because
Trevor Bauer has just been savage when it came to just everything, the scandal, the season. It's just whatever he's singing about, he just up and says, and I love it because it's so funny.
You know, everyone's saying how selfish he is, and I'm like, honestly, the fans are being super selfish. If you go look at his tweets, he's fighting for the players. He's fighting to make sure that they have the best quality standards they can. They're getting as much pay as they deserve, and all this other stuff. And he came out with a tweet either last night or this morning, essentially saying, he goes, this was a lose-lose-lose situation from the start, and somehow we've managed to add a fourth lose to that. It's not the greatest deal that we can make, but it's something at this point, and that's just what all players want. They just want something.
They just want to play.
They
just want to play.
And it's really unfortunate that as hard as the players fought, like, this is still not a good deal for them.
You know, it was funny because there's this meme going around. I think I sent it to you. It's like an ocean. There's like a like a warship destroyer in the background.
Ship,
the cruise ship, whatever it is. And it's like NBA, NHL, NFL, like all figuring out how to get their season started. And then there's some dude on like a raft, yeah, with like an umbrella, like Mary Poppins, like holding out. It's like whatever MLB is doing.
Yeah, MLB, they
it's as a fan, it is embarrassing. And like I forgot who I was talking to the other day. And I was saying, you know, like, if there's no baseball this year, it sucks because then we have to wait till next year. Like, well, how do you know there'll be baseball next year? I'm like,
there will be baseball.
What do you mean? I'm like, starting next year, the season's probably going to start on time.
We hope. I mean, we don't know the future. I mean, everyone's anticipating a second wave of Corona in the fall. And if it's as late as late November, and we're still, I mean, this started in March. It's a full 3 months now that everything's been closed. I expected 2 months, and the fact that it's June 23rd and everything's still closed, I'm out by a month. I'm shocked. If this is late November and we have to wait another 3 months, that pushes us into February.
Well, hopefully it's different by then when it comes to sports. And
I did see something today saying that Adam Schefter retweeted it, that Fauci said something about there could be a cure or a vaccine by the end of this year or early 2021.
Yeah, that's whatever. It usually takes around there for this stuff to come out.
I hope so, but I'm not holding my breath for anything anymore.
Nope. I'll just hold my breath for baseball. That's all I'm worried about.
All right.
Anything yet?
No.
All right, so we'll have to
we will update you guys.
Yeah, we'll update online. We don't want to drag it out and wait for this because it could get announced now or it can get announced in like an hour.
It will be announced the second that we turn.
Yeah. As soon as I hit stop for the record button, it's just gonna. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I got an email a notification, but just from GoDaddy.
But yeah, I mean, if you check us out between Twitter and TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, we will have updates.
Absolutely.
We're getting a little bit more active on all of our social media. Give us a follow. Literally, Lazap Baseball. Google it, and you will find all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, literally everything's Lazap Baseball except Instagram, _Zap_. Check us out. Give us a follow. We hope you guys enjoyed this week. We will be back, like we said, on social media, and we will be back next week with some more updates. So, have a great week, everybody, and we will see you then.
Peace.